Have you ever wondered why some people succeed and others don't? Maybe they know something that you don't, or maybe they were just born with some sort of gift. Or maybe they just practice the fake it until you make it technique, which is exactly what you're about to learn. We've all heard of the most powerful and wealthiest people in the world, and you probably wondered how they got there. It is easy to assume that they were born into wealth like Donald Trump, or they were born into power like the sons and daughters of the most powerful politicians. If we stop for a second and really take a deeper look at it, we might find that the truth is oftentimes much stranger than you might think. If you watch interviews of many of the best actors in the world, you will find out that they were shy, unpopular kids in school. They didn't have any special gifts, and they certainly didn't have any major advantages over others. What these actors had in common is that they faked it until they made it. I've personally witnessed firsthand several prominent individuals in the business world who weren't known by anyone, and over the span of a couple years they became some of the most well-known marketers in the industry. The irony is that some of these people were terrible at implementing the fake it till you make it technique, yet they still managed to succeed and became very wealthy and well known. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you should know that confidence is the key to everything in life. Pretty much anything that you want in life can be obtained if you have enough confidence to go after it. This applies to money, goals, relationships, achievements. Confidence can help you get anything you want out of life. The fake it until you make it technique can be applied to anything, but it's almost magical when applied to confidence. Imagine if you could instantly, at any moment, fake the level of confidence needed to achieve your wildest dreams. In just a moment, you're going to learn exactly how to do this, but before we continue, I want you to know that this isn't some bullshit that I made up one night when I was drunk. Everything that I just told you is completely backed up by basic and advanced psychology. According to something called status enhancement theory, you can literally gain more influence and confidence by simply acting in a confident and dominant way. Several studies were used to test this technique, and the results were nothing short of amazing. You've probably had self-help experts tell you to not be overconfident, but this advice isn't effective for every individual in every situation. During the studies, participants were split up into teams of 4, and they had never met each other before the experiment. The participants were asked to solve mathematical reasoning problems, and they were required to discuss the math problems with others in the group before deciding on the answers. The incentive for the group that got all of the problems correct would be given a cash prize. When the studies were finished, something amazing happened. The participants who showed more dominance and acted overconfidently were perceived by their peers as being better at math, regardless if they gave the correct answers or not. According to the data, the confident people were no more likely to answer the math problems correctly, but their assertive and dominant behavior tricked everyone around them into thinking they were better at math. The faked confidence actually gave these participants greater influence over others, and their peers gave their answers greater weight. You might find it even more shocking that when the incorrect answers were revealed, it didn't change how others in the group perceived the confident individuals. Put simply, the faked self-confidence was much more important than the accuracy of the answers given by the participants. These studies are remarkable because they show that we tend to overlook flaws, omissions, and inaccuracies in reasoning when a person shows great confidence in what they're saying. With that said, it should come as no surprise that this technique is used every single day by politicians and people in sales. In fact, the foundation for success in anything is a supreme belief in your product or abilities. A great example of the fake it till you make it technique is Donald Trump, and he has used it to secure a position as the leader of the free world. The truth is that to act more confident, we need to feel more confident. In psychology, there's something called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's basically a belief that directly or indirectly causes the prophecy or prediction to become true. In other words, if you believe and act confidently, you are likely to fulfill your own self-prophecy and thus become a confident person. It is important to remember that the only way to conquer the fear of being shy or all similar problems you might be facing is to take them head on. However, by faking the confidence that you need to tackle your fears, you're actually giving yourself a huge advantage to fulfill your own self-prophecy of being a confident person. In psychotherapy, people are told to start acting like the person they want to become, and this advice is based on the fact that it actually works. To feel happier, you need to do what happy people do, like smiling. To get more work done, fake it till you make it and act like you're a more productive person, and eventually you'll become this person. The key to making this technique work is doing it to change yourself on the inside. For example, you're much better off trying to fake confidence than trying to convince people you're successful by renting exotic cars or expensive watches. Let's imagine we have 2 applicants that we're interviewing for a job. The candidates are named Bob and Bill. Bob is extremely qualified for the position and he should be hired on the spot. Bill just got out of prison and has 0 qualifications and is actually planning to rob the bank from the inside after he gets the position. When asked how they will improve the company, Bob is very shy and can't confidently answer the question. Now, Bill, on the other hand, is much more confident during the social interactions because he was forced to learn these skills to survive in prison. Even though Bob is significantly more qualified, Bill is the one who ends up getting the job because he can confidently tell the interviewer why he would be an asset for the company. Another great example involves marketing and products. The online marketplace is filled with many different products. Some of the products are crap, others are okay, and a few of the products are extraordinary. Maybe you've had the misfortune of ending up with a crappy product and you paid significantly more money for it than you would have paid for an extraordinary product. A major reason why crappy products from one marketer sell extremely well is because the marketer fakes confidence in their product. And even though it's one of the worst products, people who buy it think it's great because the marketer is confident about it. Many of the marketers with extraordinary products only sell a handful of copies because they don't show confidence in their product. And nobody wants to buy a product from a marketer who doesn't seem like they believe in their own product. Grant Cardone is a very well-known salesperson, and he is known for closing deals. In a speech he gave, he talked about how some salon owners have hundreds of products on display when you walk into their salon, but they rarely sell any of the products because they're afraid to push the products on people. The salon owners would sell way more products if they were confident in what they were selling, even if they have to fake the confidence in the beginning. To prove my point, let's go a little bit deeper into the psychology behind the technique. Think back to a time when a friend told you about a popular movie they saw in theaters. Did they tell you the movie was excellent and you should go see it? Or did they tell you it was an okay film? By telling you the movie was amazing or just okay before you went to see it, your friends set your expectations for the movie, which made the expectations more likely to come true. In other words, if your friend says the movie is amazing, the odds of you thinking the same are much higher because you're going to see the movie with pre-existing expectations. This is one of the underlying psychological concepts that allows you to essentially fake it till you make it. When you fake confidence, you're setting a positive expectation for how you're going to act in any given situation. Once these positive expectations are set, you'll naturally appear more knowledgeable, charismatic, and competent. The fake it till you make it technique allows you to get over the initial roadblock that keeps you from making progress towards the goal, and it allows you to build the momentum needed to make what you're faking a reality. The difference between this powerful technique and positive thinking is that you're actually acting or behaving in a certain way rather than just thinking it. Each time we fake confidence and it delivers the results we want, it serves as a reference point for the next time we do it. And over time, with enough practice in the real world, it will transform you into the person you're trying to become. So, now that you understand the technique, you need to know how to execute it correctly. In some of my previous videos, you learned that about 55% of nonverbal communication is your body language. So when we're faking confidence, it makes sense that most of our focus should be on our body language. First, make sure you don't fidget because it makes you appear nervous. Everyone has their own ways of displaying nervousness, and once you've identified yours, you can consciously avoid doing them. When faking confidence, posture is also extremely important. When we're anxious, our neck, shoulders, and jaw tend to lock up, so it is important to make sure you're keeping these body parts relaxed. Some other aspects of confident body language are keeping your chest out and head up. Also, make sure to look people in the eye. About 38% of communication consists of vocal elements. And in the case of a man, a confident person speaks with a deep, strong, and assured tone. If you don't speak as if you believe what you're saying, then why should anyone else believe you? In terms of what you're saying, act as if you're confident about everything you say, even if you have no idea what you're talking about. As always, I recommend practicing this technique around people you're comfortable with first, and gradually moving on to strangers. Many of the wealthiest and most powerful people became successful, not because they started with incredible abilities or an insanely unfair advantage over others, but because they faked it until they made it. From this point onward, you can get anything you want out of life, but only if you're willing to act like the person you truly want to be for long enough that you actually become that person. Until next time, thanks for watching.